Can you hear me over there? All right. Joanne, we're real serious here when we do meetings. When I became president, they handed me this gavel. I think it's even engraved. Yeah, it is. So they said I had to use it. So I kind of go like this, and he said, no, you got to pound it harder. So I'd like to call the January 15th, 2024 Crooked Creek Art League meeting to order. I did it. I'm learning. Hopefully I didn't crack it. So it's good to see everyone here for our first meeting of 2024, and I'm excited for our presentation tonight, and would like to extend a warm welcome to our speaker, Don Wuori, and his wife, Joanne, on the front row here. So Don will be sharing on the topic of the iconography of the Holy Trinity Greek Orthodox Church, which is located here in Columbia. So thanks so much, Don, for coming to speak with us this evening. We're really looking forward to your presentation. So I hope you all had a great time over the holidays. Our CCAL Christmas party last month was a lot of fun for those of you who missed it. But I'd like to personally thank Lainey McWilliams for all of her efforts in organizing the party. We had such a great time, and I know you did a lot of work to make it happen. So thank you, Lainey, for that. We also collected a lot of donations of art supplies for the Epworth Children's Home, and we delivered them to Epworth a couple days before Christmas. So thank you to everyone who donated all of those art supplies. We'll be doing that again in the future, probably next Christmas or maybe even before. So maybe as the year goes on and you're out shopping and you see things kind of on for sale, snag a few items and put them away, because we will be collecting again for those kids at Epworth. And if you can get them on sale, you can get a lot more for your money. So thanks for all who brought refreshments tonight. So there's a new refreshment sign-up sheet on the table over there. So if you can help bring refreshments, that would be great. We all like to eat, and if we can sign up and let Carol Blackwood know ahead of time kind of what's coming, then she can better plan for what else she needs to get. So we all enjoy the food. So sign up on the sign-up sheet and let's all pitch in to make sure we have plenty to eat. So I'd like to welcome any new members and guests that we have with us tonight. Do we have new members? Can you stand and introduce yourself and tell us what kind of art you like to do?
So I'm now having time to do, painting again. I've been painting the acrylics on landscapes, local landscapes, and animals and storks.
Well, thank you. We're so glad to have you, and an art teacher. How blessed are we? Any other new members here with us? No one else? How about guests? Do we have any guests? You want to stand up and introduce yourself? Okay. Thank you, Sandy. Good to have you. Yes.
Joe Allen, retired engineer from Richland, and I enjoy mostly watercolor, landscape, flowers, birds, trees, anything. And like I was telling Miss Patterson up there, and I just need some inspiration, something to get kick-started.
Yeah, I think we all need inspiration to get going. Any other new guests here today? Yes.
Robert Stevenson, British art, started out with watercolor. I like to do portraits, do landscapes, a little bit of everything. I haven't really settled on. the niche that everybody else gets into. I'm still looking at it, but I've been doing it most of my life. Seriously, past 10, 12, 15 years.
All right, well, welcome, Robert. Glad to have you here. Any other guests? Yes?
Bill Saluda, I'm a photographer,
Okay.
and this is my brother-in-law, so I'm here along with him just to see about what's going on here.
All right. Well, welcome. And as you know, we have photographers in the group as well. So, well, that'll be good. Okay, any other?
10 minutes there, and my name is Terry. And I do icons.
Oh.
The Russian, Russian Orthodox icons, and I love all these parts.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. Anyone else visiting tonight? Yes. Okay. Well, great to have you here. And there's lots of opportunities to learn and to try different things with different painting mediums. And so just jump right in and enjoy all the different things that we offer here. Any other guests? Okay, glad to see everybody here, whether you're a member, a guest, or presenter. So, I need to speak about our annual juried show, which is right around the corner. It's our biggest event of the year, and your art will be hung all along the walls of this building. So out there in the hallway, and it'll go on for miles. You just keep walking around the inside of the building, and there's going to be so much art. It's kind of unbelievable. But anyway, it's coming up. This show gets a lot of exposure. There's lots of people that come in and out of this building every day. This is a juried show, so we'll have judges brought in, prizes awarded, and then to top it off, a reception on March 23rd to celebrate. So please pay attention to the dates for the registration, the art take-in day, and especially the details for the prospectus for the show. Is there's some different parameters you need to adhere to. Registration will open next Monday, January 22nd, and runs through February 22nd. This will be an online registration only, so there'll be no in-person bring your art type of registration. You need to go online and register, kind of how we did for Still Hopes. So please review the prospectus online. There's been some changes this year, including a slight increase in fees, a reworking of divisions so that 2D and 3D will be judged in one division with an amateur and master category. And then photography will also have separate amateur and master categories this year. Like I said, the reception will be on Saturday, March 23rd from 5 to 8. The park will only be open for our reception that evening and closed to all other events. Wine and beer will be an option. But hopefully our holding the reception on a Saturday will alleviate traffic issues that we've encountered on Friday nights in prior years. So keep that in mind. Now for the big part, volunteers are always needed. We need help with the setup and takedown of the artwork, as well as other miscellaneous tasks. So if you could please consider signing up to be of help to bring food or even make a donation towards food and drink for this reception, that would be great. So there's a lot of sign-up sheets over there with Sonia. I think she probably caught you as you were coming in, but if you didn't sign up, think about looking at the sign-up sheets again at the table and see if you can't sign up to help with something. So you can speak to Sonia or Ciara. Where'd Ciara go? Okay. Sponsors are still needed, and sponsorships from our membership are also needed. The business community has been very gracious, but we still need other donations, like in the range of $25 to $200 from members to help defray the costs for both the upcoming annual juried show and our Still Hopes juried show and reception. From what I understand, though we may have a certain amount of money in the bank now, we're really collecting money so that as we look towards next year, then we have the money to pull from for next year. It's kind of an ongoing cycle. Isn't that correct, Sonia? Yeah, so the money that we collect this year really helps us more for the planning of next year. And what we're drawing from this year was what was collected last year. So it's an ongoing cycle. So we always need donations and help from people to make all this happen. Our dues don't begin to pay for the juried shows and receptions. You know, we don't charge much for dues. So, you know, to cover all these big receptions and the awards that are given at the juried shows, it doesn't stretch that far. So please consider what you can do in the form of a gift to CCAL to help cover the costs of the shows and receptions. And thank you in advance for your generosity. Workshops. Check out all our upcoming workshops on the website. The Simplicity of Watercolor Painting with J.J. Jang on January 26th and 27th. We only have a couple spots left for this workshop. So if you want to get in, got to register quickly. Also taking your painting to the next level with Stephen S. Walker on February 29th through March 2nd. It's currently filled, but we are accepting a wait list registration in case there are cancellations. And it seems like sometimes there are cancellations. So if you do want to be on there, don't be shy about signing up for that. And then also today we got confirmation that pastel artist Susan Mayfield from Colorado will be here to do a 2-day workshop on April 12th through 13th. So all the details are on the website right now. And so go in there and check that out. That should be a really great workshop opportunity. All right, at this time, I'd like to call on Kay Fox to come tell us about the procedure for picking up artwork from Still Hopes.
Hi, thank you. I don't think I need this, but anyway. Anyway, I would like for Diane DeFord, Debbie Kelly. I don't think Vic's here tonight. If y'all would stand for a minute, please. Could everybody give them a hand of, great round of applause? Because we had an awesome show and it's coming down, but these people have worked hard and we appreciate you. Thank you. Speaking of the show, it ends the 27th. That's not this coming Saturday, but the next. I need you to follow the signs when you come on to Still Hopes grounds. And I need you to come into the garage to pick up your work. I know most people were able to do that when we took in, but some people said, they weren't paying attention. Well, please, because if it's raining or anything like that, if you come in the garage, there's no chance of messing up your beautiful work. We have gotten numerous compliments on the show at the reception and everything else. People are talking about how beautiful it is and how great of the art, how great our artists are. And what a menagerie, because it was not just this, that, or whatever. And I, said, there was acrylics, there was oil, there was watercolor, there was photography, and that was just great. So please, and when you come on the 27th, come into the garage and you'll take the first, not the first, but the second aisle, and you'll circle through. We'll bring your artwork out to you probably, unless there is something else. My biggest thing is if you are not picking up your work, you need to let us know who is picking up your work so that it doesn't get misplaced. So please let us know. I've gotten 4 or 5 people that's given me that information already. Yes. I would rather you stay in the car and we'll come to you for the most part and we'll bring you the work out. But as I said, if you can't pick it up, I need to know who I'm handing it over to. I know Alan Beedenbow has sold. I know that Harold Blackwood sold. I sold. Maureen Carter sold. So we've gotten 4 sales already, and that is great. But if you sell and somebody is picking it up, especially one of the residents there, I still need to know who to hand it over to. So thank you, and I'm not going to waste any more of your time. And I'm turning over to Lainey McWilliams.
You know, I just want to say real quick, we need to thank Brian Fox because he does photography for all our juried shows and does so much and oftentimes gets overlooked. So let's just thank Brian for his work for us. Just had to embarrass you. Okay, I want to talk to you about the May meeting. Now, I know all these different terms are different for you. The May meeting contest is not a juried show. So we have the big juried show that's coming up in March, but May meeting contest is an in-house contest that we have just with ourselves. The theme this year is called Sites from Around the World. It's open to all our members, and there will be ribbons awarded, not prizes, just ribbons. You'll need to register your piece online. And please, please read this prospectus. For each one of these events, we need you to read and know what's being posted because we don't want to turn away something when you get there that doesn't fit in the parameters of what we're asking for. Bring your piece with you to that last general meeting in May. And you also will need to bring an easel to display your work. It'll be displayed right in this room. We'll have tables set up and we'll all go around and we're going to pick the winners between ourselves. That vote will happen. And we just want to know what inspires you from cultures and places around the world. You don't have to travel to be inspired. We have an international festival, lots of multicultural restaurants, events, and plenty of sites, both near and far, that you can draw from. So think about what inspires you. The other thing about this contest is you do not have to be a member in good standing. That's what we refer to as MIGs. In order to join in the large annual juried show, you have to have been to 3 meetings, either via Zoom or in person, to be able to join into the juried show that's coming up in March. But for this May meeting, you do not have to be a MIGS. So we're hoping that all of you will bring your work and will be able to enjoy that. Okay, now I'm going to do something just a wee bit different, and Barbara's going to come and help me. Oh, one little caveat. If you brought art for Africa, and you know what I'm talking about, then I am collecting that to take to the people to give them that. I don't live very far, so I can collect your art and take it. You don't have to bring art to come to the May meeting. Thank you, Barbara. Yes, show up and you can vote for all the beautiful art you see. Thank you. Okay, so now this is a brief how-to. Over my time in the league and also in working for the state fair, I've realized that artists like myself need to be reminded that number one, reading a prospectus and making notes of dates is a big deal. It can make or break entering the show. Okay. Number two, the way your artwork is framed makes a difference. Sometimes not framing it correctly will forfeit your right to be in a show. If you're able to go to the route of custom framing, let me recommend one of our league sponsors, Palmetto Fine Arts. But if you're like me, who's not a professional artist, you may not have funds to be able to get all your pieces custom framed. Sometimes you create your art to fit in a ready-made frame. If you buy one from Hobby Lobby or Michael's, you can ask them ahead of time to see if they will finish doing the wiring for you, okay? If you are fixing it to hang it yourself, use D-rings. These are small, these are large, according to the size painting that you're doing, and wire to hang your paintings, okay? I only know of one contest this year that's letting you use sawtooth hangers, and that's the art from Africa. All the other ones ask you, what's that? That's because they're tiny. All the rest of them are asking you to have wires on your painting. Okay, so if you're fixing it yourself, do those things. Make sure you follow these guidelines, such as clean your glass, people. I cannot tell you how many yucky glass paintings that we got at the fair. Nasty, nasty. So use a lint-free cloth to polish it. I usually start with this. I use this spray stuff here, and then a lint-free cloth to polish it. I know this is just really basic, but thank you, Barbara. She's so good. Okay. Use a mat. You can get them ready-made for a particular size, but a clean mat. Don't have coffee stains on it, fingerprints on it. You know, yes. Yeah, no cat hairs in there either. Okay. And attach your art, like if it's watercolor, with acid-free tape on the back of the mat. You can't see that. Okay. Now here's a big deal. You're going to measure the sides of your painting, and you're going to put your O-rings a third of the way down. D-rings, not O-rings, D-rings, a third of the way down. Okay. So you have to do math. I know this, but, and then once you get that a third of the way down and even on both sides, you put in those O-rings, put your wire through there, make sure there's enough to really firmly attach it. And if you're really nice to people that are going to be using hangers, you'll put tape on it so that they won't hurt their little fingers when they hang your paintings. Okay. In fact, one of the framing things said that it should go 1.5, 2 inches down. This one's a little high, I know, but that's how you're supposed to do it. Okay. Yeah, I have make the wire come about 2 inches from the top of the frame. I do not know for sure about canvas wiring. You can look that up online, or maybe we'll get somebody else to speak to that. It's the same, the third of the way. Okay.
The only time it's not a third is if it's a really, really heavy piece or a really, really light piece. Then you might have to test it on the wall and see what it does. Because if it's really heavy or really light, it'll make it do this.
And that doesn't look nice.
And so you might need to move them up or down. And
Okay. No, not for the juried show. Well, it does depend on which show, but not for our jury show and not for the fair, but they do ask you to finish those edges at the fair. And I don't know if our juried show asks you to have finished edges.
painted or something, so it's just not raw canvas on the side.
Okay. So,
But every show is different.
so just be careful when you're framing your art. You want your art to look the best it can. So we don't want pictures hanging over and having to do things at the last minute. Okay, thank you, Barbara. Yay. One more announcement, and that is that Barbara Young is going to be next month's presenter, and she's coming and she'll be doing a demonstration of floral in oils. So excited to have her. I think she's been with us before, but we'll look forward to having you there. Thank you for your time.
My privilege tonight to introduce our speaker, Dr. Don Wuori. We're glad to have him tonight, as well as his wife, Joanne, with us. Don is a native of New York City, and he's been doing his photography for over 35 years, largely in South Carolina. Both Don and his wife, Joanne, had distinguished careers as part of the University of South Carolina School of Medicine in the Department of Pediatrics. He and Joanne now share a special love for bird photography, although tonight is not about bird photography. Don has done quite well in local, statewide, and national photo competitions, and he's published at those same levels and presented on bird photography at a variety of venues and also judged in a variety of photo contests. He's a past president of the Carolinas Nature Photographers Association, CNPA, Who here is from CNPA? Yvonne and I are, the Foxes, Harold is, and of course, Joanne and some of us, yes. But CNPA is an organization of over 900 members throughout North and South Carolina, and he and Joanne remain actively involved in CNPA. We have a publication that comes out 3 or 4 times a year, and it's called Camera in the Wild. And this issue just came out, and Joanne took that picture. And there's also an article in it by our own Harold Blackwood. And so I have some copies of that over on the table. And afterwards, if any of you want to pick one up, you can take it home with you. That's fine. But I've got some extras there. A number of years ago, and I do want to mention one other thing while we're stopped here, talking about one of Don's side gifts. If you're a new photographer, he is really good at helping you learn how to spend your money. Very good. Very good. Yvonne and I met them over 10 years ago, and we go to these conventions, and he, Yvonne, let me show you this over here. And pretty soon I'm buying 2 of them. And, but now Coach has done so well that we've moved on to be able to just spend as much of our own money. We don't even need to coach anymore. So thank you, Don. More seriously, a number of years ago, largely by serendipity or providence, you decide, Don was asked to photograph the iconography of the newly constructed Holy Trinity Greek Orthodox Church here in Columbia. And this became a year-long project and a true love. His presentation tonight will discuss the project, and he's entitled it Art in Columbia, Iconography of the Holy Trinity Greek Orthodox Cathedral. Don, welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We do have one more thing, Don, for you to do for us. I have 3 gifts that I'm going to, they're actually drawings. And so we have numbers 1 through 44 here, and I'll need you to draw or to tell me 3 numbers from 1 to 44, and you can do 1 and then I'll see who it is.
Okay. 41.
41, Audra Caldwell. Audra, do you do oils or what is your genre? Okay. There you go. First drawing. Okay, and the other 2. Another number, please.
8.
Number 8 is Brian Fox. Okay, one more.
13.
13 is Shirley Britton. Thank you so much for doing that. And one more thing. We need more food signups for next week. If you haven't signed up for food, please do it. And I mean, next month. Hello. And then Sonia still needs help with the juried show as well. So please see the sign up sheets before you leave. Thanks. And Yvonne has one more thing to say. Oh, okay. She's got to do her gavel thing, you know.
Thank you so much for coming. We had a great evening, and thank you, Don and Joanne, for bringing the presentation. It was just very fascinating, very educating, and love the pictures. Great photography. So hope everybody has a great evening. And remember, sign up with the sign-up sheets for food and for help for the annual show. We really need it. Call this meeting adjourned. See you next month.